Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I want to do a video that I've had a lot of requests for. One of the #1 asked questions in the chat currently. Hey Xaryu, what's the best mage spec right now? What should I play? And I'm gonna break down this video because I answer this question probably like 500 times each stream. But yo, all three mage specs are currently S tier, amazing, really good, and it's up to you to decide which one you want to play. So this video is gonna break down Fire, Frost, and Arcane, and maybe point you in the right direction for the spec that you should be playing. I play all three myself. I enjoy Fire the most. I like Arcane the second best. I like Frost the least right now, but I'm sure things will change as we get more changes, hotfixes, buffs, nerfs, etc. I think Fire is the spec that brings the most punch, right? The most burst, the most excitement, right? You get a CC chain and you get a ton of burst, and then you do nothing, right? CC chain, burst, nothing. CC chain, burst, nothing. If you like ups and downs, tons of burst, and then no consistent pressure, Fire is the spec for you, right? If you want to play Arcane, Arcane's the class with a ton of mobility, right? It has utility with the mass invisibility. With the D curses, it has a ton of blinks, displacements. It doesn't do a lot of burst. No, Arcane has almost no burst right now, which is weird because in the past, Arcane was a very bursty spec. But right now, Arcane, what does it have? It has spell steals, mobility, and utility. If you like to be that class that no one can really touch you, you're kind of not really a killable target because you have so many blinks, you have so much mobility, you have so many spell steals. But at the same time, you're not doing a ton of burst, but you're doing a little bit of consistent pressure, and you're being very annoying, then Arcane's a spec for you, right? So Arcane, if you want a ton of mobility and you never want to die, definitely play Arcane, right? And Frost is the spec that doesn't have a ton of burst either, but it has a lot of control, making it the king of dampener games. You throw down a blizzard, you throw down an orb, you throw out some frost bolts, all of a sudden the enemy team cannot move, right? So Frost, very good, right? Probably the best spec right now in terms of like tournament level mage play, right? But at the same time, very boring to play for me personally because it's just slowing people. You don't do a ton of damage, you don't do a ton of burst, but you win dampening games because no one can really move versus you. You have a good amount of consistent pressure. The damage is actually there. Out of all three mage specs, it's probably the highest damage, like DPS, like overall damage, but it doesn't have a ton of burst. It's not like you're one-shotting someone crazily. So to talk a bit more about Fire, we see Fire in tournaments, right? We see Fire at tournament level, super good spec to be playing. It has a ton of CC, right? With the Dragon's Breath, with the Ring of Frost, with the Poly, you have 3 different schools to cast it, and a ton of burst, right? Fire is that spec that we are going to have a ton of burst with. This is one of our games up to rank 1 in North America, which we actually did manage to hit if you guys have been following the channel. But if this kind of play style looks fun for you, where we just did a big burst on the Monk, and now it's time to peel, right? So now we used our meteor, we used our combustion, we don't have too much damage left. Now we're peeling, right? We're doing polymorph. We can get up a Tinder proc if we want the fireball. We can just keep peeling until this next go. The next go is when the kidney shot comes out on the Monk. When the kidney shot comes out on the Monk, then we will be going offensive once again. So the kidney shot is out there. This specific game, I think since the Monk was behind the pillar, we were doing a little bit more of just peeling instead of doing these exact setup goes. But as you can see, the enemy team has no trinkets. We have the meteor back up with a 3 fire blast with the maledict, so it's time to get a big burst onto the Monk very soon. So we'll do something like Sheep Demon Hunter. Monk gets kicked, we throw out the Ring of Frost maybe for the TK, so it's like get this cross CC, right, and then go for big burst. Now since we got that full kidney shot, boom, big burst coming out, be 100 to 0 the Monk. That is what Fire is good at, guys, right? 100 to 0ing people in the setups. If that looks fun to you, where you do a ton of burst, then you control, and then you do a ton more burst to get your kills, then definitely play Fire. Alright, guys, now Arcane is the spec where I'm playing Arcane Windwalker and 2s here, where you're really just, you're hyper mobile, you're kind of being annoying, you're this unkillable target with 4 blinks, you're kind of just running around, right? So Arcane, if play this spec if you want to be like spam spell steals, be kind of annoying, blink around, be unkillable. You're not doing a ton of burst, but at the same time you're not really dying, and you're kind of just poking the enemies down slowly but surely. I would definitely play Arcane if this type of play style looks fun for you. So it's not like, okay, we're gonna one-shot in a burst, although the Windwalker can do that. So our comp Windwalker Mage could one-shot, but the Windwalker's gonna be most of the damage. But basically, look, every time the Demon Hunter runs at me, we slow him with Chrono Shift, we have the sprint with Chrono Shift, and he just looks at my Monk. He's like, okay, can we go to the Mage? And I'm just like, not really. I'm just gonna keep running away, blinking away, and being this very annoying target to hit. And like I said, guys, all are tournament level. Which one is the actual best? I don't know. I think Frost might be the actual best at tournament level. And I think Fire might be behind that and Arcane behind that. But they're all S tier, right? They're all really, 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 really good. Now that Druid's getting a bit low here, we come with a little bit of pressure, maybe a couple spell steals, maybe some Arcane missiles. We could do the Palm Double Blast if we want. We could block this, keep spell stealing him down. He's a bit lower, a little bit more damage coming out. Karma comes out for my Monk. Another Arcane Barrage, another spell steal or two. Mass Invis, another missile. We fake the kick, another missile. Blink back, another missile, and he goes down, right? So it's a slower progression of things. We slowly work targets down, bit more dampener. But it's fun because you have a lot of mobility. I don't like this as much as Fire, but I still enjoy it, right? Because you can be so hyper mobile. And the reason I want to make this video, guys, isn't to tell you guys what I'm enjoying, but I want you guys to figure out what looks the most fun for you, because all three are so good right now. And you guys are always like, which one should I play? Which is the best? All three are the best. Which one do you like, right? So this is kind of that play style where, look, the Demon Hunter's trying to get to me, but I'm just sprinting away, running away, and he can't really even hit me. And Demon Hunters, guys, are very hyper mobile, but Arcane, with just slow and the sprint combination, makes it very, very hard to actually catch up to even an Arcane Mage as a Demon Hunter. So the burst isn't there, but we have the consistency and the mobility. So as this clip plays out, next we're going to be looking at Frost Mages, guys. Like I said, probably the best at tournament level, right? But they're very, very dampening in terms of the play style, and I'm going to show you that here in a second. So let's check out a Frost game. All right, guys, here is a Frost game. We're playing against Warrior Druid, and in this game, guys, we are just going to be casting Frostbolt, getting Blizzards out, getting Orbs out, slowing the enemy team so they can't do much. And in the meantime, it's almost like PvE. You're keeping up your DPS. You're keeping up your damage per second and slowing the enemy to make sure they can't do what they want to do, right? So the Warrior opens up here, the Druid opens up here, and I'm casting out Frostbolts, keeping them nice and slow. I get feared here. I throw down the Orb to slow the Warrior, keep up the damage per second, throw out a Spell Steal, throw out an Ice Lance, and throwing out some Frostbolts, right? Pop the Veins, pop the Frostbolt. We can shatter it with the Flurry, just like a PvE rotation. I probably should have done that there. We do it now. We could probably do it again here. Just Frostbolt, Flurry, Ice Lance, right? Okay, we get another proc. Okay, cool. Frostbolt, Flurry, Ice Lance again. I'm literally just PvEing this guy. Do we have a ton of burst? I mean, a little bit, but do we have a ton like Fire? Are we 100-0ing them with G-Pi, Meteor, Combust? Not really. We don't have big cooldowns like that, but hey, we're keeping him slowed. He can't move very fast, and we're keeping up the consistent pressure, aka the Druid has to heal through it, and he's going to go out of mana eventually, right? So that's really what Frost has going for it. If this play style looks fun for you, where, you know, you're not crazy bursting someone down, but you're keeping up that consistency, and you're making it so the enemy team can't do what they want to do, which is really, really good, right? As you'll see here in another minute, we'll start to actually kill both targets, and we'll start working both of them down. My Druid's working down their Druid. I'm just slowing the Warrior, making sure he can't really hit me. Warrior gets closer. We shrink it out of the stun. We Kona Cold. Look, the Warrior can't move. We Orb. He gives up trying to hit me, and he starts hitting my Druid. Now both targets are dipping a little bit, and this is where Frost starts to have its advantage, right? As the game goes on, dampening gets higher. Now dampening's at 30% almost. Now all of a sudden they can't move and they can't really heal as much, and it's just brutal. Like, I remember playing this game a few days ago. I don't play a ton of Frost, but I was playing this Frost game on stream, and I was like, this is just brutal, like, for the enemy team. Like, look at this. They're both rotting down now, and I just keep up the pressure, right? So they don't have much pressure, which means my Druid can play Feral Affinity, do a ton of damage to them, since they don't have the pressure coming out, because the Frostbolts are keeping them slowed, and then they're just getting lower and lower and lower. Every time this Warrior tries to hit me, we're doing a great job kiting him. He can't really hit me, which means he's just going to probably turn around and try to hit my Druid. But now he's kind of stuck in between, like, this limbo mode in between the Druid and me. I'm getting more and more damage out. We have an Orb if we want to place it down into both of them. Looks like we do. We're going to Orb Comet Storm. Now they're both at 20-30% life, and like, if this playstyle looks fun to you guys, just because it's not fun to me, definitely play it, right? Like, it's really, really good. They're both kind of dying, and we're just keeping up Frostbolt, right? Keeping up the Frostbolt damage, keeping them nice and slow, and then as the game goes more and more into dampening, Frost just has a bigger and bigger and bigger advantage, a composition in 3v3 like Shadow Priest Mage is going to play out like this, right? Destro Mage is going to play out like this. Asa Mage kind of play out like this. It's going to be a little more setup based, but you're also going to play very, very dampening like this. Keep up the DPS, keep up the slows, and then do setups on top of that when you can. But look at these guys. They're both at 30% life, 30, 40% life. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to come out of this. The full bash comes out. He's probably just going to go down here. A lot of damage from my Druid, since my Druid didn't need to heal much, and that is one of the strengths of Frost, right? If you keep everything not doing much damage, your healer can do more damage, you can heal more, and all of a sudden means your entire team is sustained, and that is the power of control from the Frost Mage. So just to reiterate, guys, Frost Mage with the control, the consistent pressure, very good right now. Fire with no consistent pressure, but a ton of burst, not as much control because you don't have those slows. And Arcane with that hyper mobility and the spell steals and a little bit of consistent pressure. All three are S tier amazing classes right now. We see all three in tournament level gameplay. So it's up to you on which one you think is the most fun to decide which class you want to play. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you did not enjoy the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs down. Talk to me in the comments about what you guys want to see in the upcoming uploads. I definitely make sure to read all of the comments so I can see exactly what you guys are searching for and then make the videos for exactly what you guys want. If you guys want notifications on when each one of my videos goes live, check me out on Instagram. I do an Instagram story every time I do a new video. Instagram at Xaryu, LOL, XARYU, LOL. Go peep it, and I'll see you guys in the next upload. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.